Hello all and welcome. Oakland is a bit of a unknown brand here in Australia, so I thought I'd take the opportunity to show you all around my 1928 Oakland, and after that I'll add on a video at the back end of some of Dad's cars as well. So here is my 1928 two-door sedan. Originally obviously my father's car, restored about 40 years ago, so you know she's showing some age now with the paint. I think this is one of Dad's first paint jobs that he ever did, and his first or second car that he restored. The condition of the car was not great when he got it, and you know he's continued to restore cars over the years and learnt along the way. This car has particular sentimental value to me because I grew up with this one. You know, pretty much the entirety of my life this car's been part of my life, and I've been lucky enough to grab it now and hopefully share it with my son in future years to come. The car drives beautifully, especially for a car that's, you know, coming close to 100 years old now, and yeah, just took it out now actually to a club run. With a lot more modern cars, 60s and 70s cars, but this thing definitely turned a few heads, and I hope you all enjoy the car. If you've got any questions, please ask any questions. Otherwise I'll tag on the video now of Dad's shed. Okay, so here we are at Dad's shed. I thought I'd start out here with the 1911 Tourer that Dad's currently got under restoration. It's a pile of parts actually made from 3 cars, mostly because it's hard to get Oakland parts here in Australia. It's unlike the rest of the cars we'll see today though. This is an all steel body car, so there's no wood framework in this thing at all steel bodied, which is quite unique. It is sort of just being done, I suppose, whilst he's carrying on with some of the other projects. The colour, mint green. I'm not exactly sure why Dad went that colour, whether it was an original colour or not. I don't think it is. But I love the colour because it's very similar to what my hot rod was. Yeah, so 1918 Tourer. Alright, we'll move on to what Dad considers the modern cars of his collection. First of all, we've got 2 1930s. So the first one, 1930s V8 Tourer. It's all there. It's obviously part restoration, but all the parts are there. The engine has been restored along with the wheels, and Dad's just literally starting to get into this car. You know, all the dashboard and components there. Parts are scattered apart shelves and whatnot. But the plan is essentially to pull this car out soon of the shed, pull off the body, and then start working from the chassis up as part of the restoration. The other 30s that he's got, 1930s V8 coupe, one of my favourites, is obviously a fully running car. Is imported to Australia about 15 years ago and converted to right-hand drive. Came totally in pieces. You know, it was, but it's a regular driver. You know, Dad's taken this to many a show. One of his longest trips was 700 kilometers in one direction, and that was done in one day. It is a 6-wheel equipped, Y-wheel equipped car. Color scheme is very close to an original option, although not exact. And we'll just have a quick look around the car there. We might even get Dad to open up the engine bay, and we'll have a look inside. So, as you can see, not the best lighting in here, but all gauges restored, all functioning. Lovely car. It is a regular boot, unlike the Roadster we'll see later on. There she is, 251.
351.
251.
251, yeah.
V8, yeah. So I've always been fascinated by the unusual intake and exhaust manifold system on this V8. But yeah, lovely car, regularly driven. Moving on to the oldest car in Dad's collection, 1911. Originally imported into Australia back into 1911. And then unfortunately was later in its life was left to rot in a paddock for about 60 years before Dad got his hands on it. And I believe you've had it for a while, Dad, for a few years before you started this restoration, and quite a bit of restoration required as well. You know, so pretty much the entire body has been completely rebuilt, remanufactured. Even the brass, of course, it's all started out as basically, you know, flat panel piece of brass and remade and reshaped for the car. And even the wood has been imported from America. It's black walnut wood. And yeah, 1911. Love the color of this car. Just going to get Dad to open up the engine bay here. The engine has been completely reconditioned. It has run once, although, you know, Dad's not in any rush to get it driving just yet. He wants to finish off a lot more of the car, but yeah, it is a runner. Engine is restored. So hopefully we'll see this one on the road very soon. Right, making his way through the shed, past some of the other Oakland paraphernalia on the walls. 1928 Roadster, 6-wheel equipped, wheel equipped car. Again, another regular driving car. So again, this car has also done the same 700 kilometer in one day, one-way trip before returning home. It's a complete ground up resto. I have seen this car majority of my life getting restored. And basically everything from the dashboard back has been completely hand fabricated due to an inavailability of parts. Dad's essentially had to copy panels from other roadsters within Oz in order to make the panels. So they are to Oakland spec, direct copies of genuine Oakland parts. Just had to be hand fabricated by Dad. Obviously it's the dicky seat model, which I love. Beautifully restored car. I'm going to get Dad to open up the engine bay for me while he's here. We'll have a quick look in the interior. Beautifully restored. Some lovely dress panels in there. Runs and drives beautifully. You want to open up the engine bay there, Dad? It's 28, so straight 6. For all the Holden fans, they'd be very familiar with this motor. Thanks, Dad. Bit more of a walk around the car. Dad's actually planning to take this car out tomorrow on a rally. So it'll be going off the chocks again and out on the road. The 28 coupe was basically essentially built out of leftover parts. Basically inspired, I suppose, by Lily. Unfortunately, Dad was able to actually get the rear quarter panels from a swap meet and was able to get some tags from a club member. The colour is aftermarket, which was actually picked up by your wife, wasn't it, Dad? Again, another 6-wheel, wire wheel equipped car. And I'm going to also ask Dad to open up the engine bay on this car while I have a quick look in the interior. Love the colouring of this car. It's just unique, a bit unusual. I'm sure most people wouldn't naturally flock to something a little bit this unusual, but I quite like it. You want to open up the engine bay, Dad?
Same engine.
Same, yeah, it is the same engine, isn't it? Yep. Another, this almost looks like the same as that one. Yeah, regular driven car again as well.
220.
Yep, 220. What else we've got? I suppose Dad's always got cars in resto, so we've got one more. I think it's out here in the shed, but it's hasn't even been touched yet. The 23 laying dormant in the shed out here. Yeah, there's definitely potential for this one to be on Dad's to-do list. Having discussions with him earlier this morning about potentially turning this into like a van variant of the 23, but who knows what will happen with this one. He's obviously got his hands full with the rest of the cars. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the cars. Maybe I'll update this video a little bit later on. I might hand it over to Dad, and if he's got anything to...
Yeah, most of the restoration of these cars were done here, about 80% of it, apart from the engine reconditioning, upholstery and chrome work. Otherwise, it's all done here, and it's been a great pleasure working on these cars. So thank you very much. Bye.
Thanks very much, Dad. Well, thanks guys, and thanks for watching.